All right, Middle-Aged White Guy Reacts back again today with another video for you. And in today's video, we got some Tom MacDonald. Now, we should have done this Friday. All right, we're a bit late to the show here. Friday, I had maybe a little bit of time. I was going to try to fit it in, but I didn't want to rush it. All right, I never want to rush any of my reactions, especially a Tom. So we decided to put it off for the weekend. Weekend came and gone. Didn't do it. All right, so we are here today on a Monday. On a Monday when, you know, everyone's back to their work week and not necessarily looking for Tom MacDonald reaction videos. But we're here and we're going to do it. So, with that said, what's the name of this song? What is it? Woke World. We have Woke World by Tom MacDonald. Now, if you stick around after the reaction, all right, I have like a funny little story and something to show you guys. I don't want to do it at the beginning of the video and kind of, you know, lose the whole plot of the reaction video. So let's do the reaction now. And for those of you who stick around to the end, I'm going to take a few minutes just to tell you a little something and show you something. I think you'll get a kick out of it. So there's that for you. That's your treat. And that's, you know, my thank you for allowing me to miss the Tom MacDonald Friday. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. Again, this is Tom MacDonald and Woke World. Let's go.
America is fallen, turned our men into women. Our billionaires get private islands where they're trafficking children. The flag is burning in the streets. We don't believe the politicians. We defunded the police and free speech has been restricted. And Canada has fallen. Their dollar ain't worth a buck if you misgender.
Oh, man. Okay. Hold on. He just jumps right into this. He jumps right on in. Let's go back and hear it from the beginning. All right. It wasn't quite. I should know better. I should know better with Tom. He's going to start hard and heavy right off the bat. He doesn't waste any time getting right into it. So let's go.
America is fallen, turned our men into women. Our billionaires get private islands where they're trafficking children. The flag is
yep, and apparently there's no accountability for that, so let's go.
Fallen, turned our men into women. Our billionaires get private islands where they're trafficking children. The flag is burning in the streets. We don't believe the politicians. We defunded the police and free speech has been restricted. And Canada has fallen. Their dollar ain't worth a buck if you miss.
Is that true? Is their dollar not because aren't they usually like our like dollars a dollar, right? And theirs would be like $1.06 or $1.07. Aren't they usually like a little bit more? Is that how that works? Yeah, because if our dollar's a dollar, there's, yeah, like I thought the exchange rate, like they're usually a little bit higher or lower. How does that work? That's too confusing right now. That's too confusing to think about right now. Let's keep going.
Police and free speech has been restricted, and Canada has fallen. Their dollar ain't worth a buck. If you misgender someone there, you're getting fined or locked up. Trudeau censored the internet, then they banned half the guns. The trucker convoy was the last breath of freedom in their lungs, and the UK has fallen, getting woker every day. It's,
you know, and that was messed up, man. That was messed up how they, you know, shut off any funding for those people. You know, it's just like, if that was a protest that they agreed with, you know damn well, I mean, they would be, you know, rolling out the Brinks trucks to make sure those people got their money, right? Yeah, so messed up. Just so disappointing how that came to just such a quick and quiet end, because that was awesome for the time, you know, and it was going on. It was awesome. And then it was just over. It was just over. You know, that sucked, but we supported them. We tried, you know. You couldn't even bring them fuel to run their heaters and whatnot in their trucks. It was crazy. Let's go.
It was the last breath of freedom in their lungs, and the UK has fallen, getting woker every day. It's illegal immigrants throwing acid into faces, protests and riots, COVID record inflation. The people lost their freedom. Great Britain lost its greatness. America to Europe, across the globe.
You know, and it's like I don't pay a ton of attention, all right, to especially politics outside of the United States, all right? Because they're not a concern of mine. Yeah, honestly, I hate politics to begin with. You know, everything is just so saturated in it anymore. You know, so like I stick to America. And a lot of times I'll even check out of American politics for a little while. You know, it's like a soap opera, okay? Ever watch like Days of Our Lives, right? There's like this plot line going on. Okay, and they're slow burning it, man. Slow burning it. And you stop watching for a while, you know. And then 6 months down the line, you just jump into an episode. Days of Our Lives is on. You have nothing else going on. You pop it on. and they're still in that same plot story, right? And they're still working through that whole thing still. And sometimes that's how I feel like politics are in America. It's just like, it's such a slow burn. It's always the same. You're spinning our wheels, not getting anywhere. And it's like, you could just tune it out for 4, 5, 6 months at a time. And then you read a couple of articles, you're caught up because they're still dealing with the same shit they were dealing with way back then. So you don't miss anything. And actually, it makes your day to day like a lot easier. All right. A lot easier. So, I mean, we have to pay attention to this stuff. We have to pay attention, at least to your local and America's politics. Right. But we don't have to pay that close of attention to where it's affecting our daily lives. You could tune out for a little bit. You're not going to miss much. And you can get caught back up real quick. But like I said, I don't pay attention to foreign politics. I don't understand, how some of their governments work because I haven't taken the time to research it and figure it out because I don't care. But yeah, I do know that Europe has its own host of issues with the immigration and, knife and machete attacks and assaults and all that stuff. So, it's crazy. The whole world is crazy right now. Let's go, Tom.
The people lost their freedom, Great Britain lost its greatness. America to Europe, across the globe, every country, every city, every neighborhood and home. It's infecting everything and everybody that we know, so just say it. Screw everything woke. Yep. Say it at the top of your lungs, don't let it go. Scream it out into the streets, I promise that you're not alone. Go ahead, say it with your chest way down.
I promise you're not alone. I've said this, I've made this point probably 100 times on this channel, but you look on the internet, the world seems very left-leaning, all right? Media, TV, news, right? Hollywood, our celebrities. Everything's geared and kind of looks like it's leaning left. Go out and talk to people, real people in the world, in your area. Like I live in an area, right? And my home range is a number of miles in each direction, right? And within those several miles each direction, that kind of creates my home bubble. It's like, this is my stomping grounds, for lack of a better term. You go from rural to very urban. Okay. So I get a nice view of maybe not all the different parts of America, and populations and stuff like that. But a good look, a good cross section. Okay. We got the farmers and the people who are, growing soybeans over here. And we have, people living in deep blue major urban centers. Okay. So I get a good mix of people I interact with on a daily basis. The world, my world at least, all right, is not majority left-leaning when you actually get down to it. You'd be surprised how many people believe exactly what you believe. All right. Get out and talk to people. Obviously don't hammer them with, do you wear MAGA hats or not? Kind of deal. But feel people out. You'll be surprised at how many, if you start conversations, how many people actually believe exactly what you believe. It's crazy. All types too. All types. Let's keep going though.
Go scream it out into the streets. I promise that you're not alone. Go ahead, say it with your chest way down deep in your soul, but just say it. Yep. Screw everything woke. Rise up, I can see your fire. You and me, we can burn what they built to the ground. Burn everything woke.
Burn everything woke. I love that in the background. Hold on, let me hear that again. That was nice.
Your fire. You and me, we can burn what they built to the ground. Burn everything woke.
Burn everything woke. I love that right there.
We can burn what they built to the ground. Burn everything woke. Rise up, can't let them divide us. You and me.
Can't let them divide us. And it's not woke per se that wants to divide us. Not the woke section of society that wants to divide us. The woke are the part of society that have already been divided from us. All right. They aren't the ones trying to do it. those are the ones who've already been, right? So let's keep going.
Can't let them divide us. You and me, we could burn this world down. America is fallen, woke became a disease. They make trillions off of mandatory lethal vaccines. The anthem plays and half the country is still taking a knee. Blacks and whites fighting over whose life matters the least. And Canada has fallen, people can't afford to pay.
Hold on, how did you say that?
Off of mandatory lethal vaccines, the anthem plays and half the country is still taking a knee. Blacks and whites fighting over whose life matters the least. And
Blacks and whites fighting over whose life matters the least. All right, you know, because it's that victim complex, right? You know, and then the whole liberal white savior stuff that goes on. You know, that's a funny way of putting it, though. I like that, Tom. Let's go.
half the country is still taking a knee. Blacks and whites fighting over whose life matters the least. And Canada has fallen, people can't afford to pay for food. The media's all liberal, it's nothing but the fake news. There's oil in the ground and pipelines they refuse to use. You're only heard if you're indigenous or LGBTQ. Australia has fallen, Ireland been up in flames. People rioting and dying, divided, fighting for change. And from Canada to Finland, Denmark, back to USA, it's a woke world. That's what we're standing up against. America to Europe, across the globe. Every country, every city, every neighborhood and home. It's infecting everything and everybody that we know, so just say it. Screw everything woke. Say it at the top of your lungs, don't let it go. Scream it out into the streets, I promise that you're not alone. Go ahead, say it with your chest, way down deep in your soul, but just say it. Screw everything woke. Rise up, I can see your fire. You and me, we can burn what they built to the ground. Burn everything woke. Rise up, can't let them divide us. You and me, we can burn this world down. Burn everything woke. The whole world's fallen to the globalist elite. They want one God, one leader, one currency. It's the...
Not yet, Tom. Not yet. We haven't fallen yet. And actually, I think they're scared. Not scared, like, you know, but they can feel the shift. That's why they've been holding on so tight the last several years. You know, where the hell was I going with that? Damn it. What did he say? Hold on. I just lost complete train of thought. Getting old sucks. I need some ginkgo biloba or something. I don't know. Hold on. What the hell did he just say? And then I'll remember it.
World down. Burn everything woke. The whole world's fallen to the globalist elite. They want one God, one leader, one currency. It's the cigarette.
All right. Saying that we've all fallen to the globalist elite because they want, you know, one world government, one currency, all that. Like I said, I think that they feel or they felt we're getting kind of slippery, and they've been holding on real tight lately. And that's what I was going to say. That's why you've seen the mask falling, and them just doing like messed up stuff and just blatantly right out in the open. Because they don't have time to slow drip this anymore. All right. Especially, you know, Trump's first term kind of started speeding everything up. All right. So I think that we were making headway, and, you know, it doesn't mean we're going to win. It doesn't mean they're going to lose. And it doesn't mean that, you know, we're not going to eventually end up falling to them. But we were making moves that didn't make them comfortable. And, you know, whoever that is, the powers that be, right? And that's why we've seen just like an exponential increase in fuckery lately, you know, from governments all over the world. It's crazy. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Would I rather be slow boiled and, you know, not realizing until it's too late, which is what they were trying to do, or just thrown in the hot pot and, you know that I'm in trouble and we have to start acting now? I don't know which one's better. You guys tell me, because we've kind of seen both ways now. Let's keep going, though.
To the globalist elite, they want one God, one leader, one currency. It's the cigarettes, the vaccines, the food that you eat. Either way, the deep state wants you 6 feet deep. Fill your headphones with music, reinforcing
and that's a good point. The globalist elite, or how do you say that? The
God, one leader, one currency. It's the cigarettes, the vaccines, the food that you eat. Either way, the deep state wants you 6 feet deep.
All right, the deep state wants you 6 feet deep. It's like for many years I wondered, well, why would they want to destroy essentially the fabric of this nation just for power so that they could stand on a pile of ashes, right? And it didn't make sense to me. But as I'm older and seeing it more, all right, especially the last several years where they've just been pounding you every day with it, I fully believe that they want a depopulation event of some sort. They want a culling of the parts of society that they don't really need for that. I mean, think about it. If you are an elite, like maybe I'm way off base here. Maybe I'm way off base, but this is the only thing that can make sense in my mind. If you are the elite of the world, okay, you're in your little club. Let's say there's 1,000 people worldwide who kind of are the shot callers. All right. I don't know what the number is. Let's just call it that. How many extra people do you need to facilitate the lives of 1,000? A couple 100,000 to make shit for them and to farm and to feed them and to, produce things and to, keep them healthy. And, you need a certain number of doctors, a certain number of these people, a certain number of those people. So it's like when they're looking at the world, they don't need 8 billion of us. It's hard with 8 billion people. You wipe out a shit ton of us, and then it's just this pocket of globalist elites, their servant underclass, whose whole purpose in life is to just facilitate the lives of those above them. Because that makes sense. When you look at everything that's gone on for decades, I mean, maybe it doesn't. But to me today, this is what makes sense. Whether that's what's going on or not, who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? Let's go.
The vaccines, the food that you eat. Either way, the deep state wants you 6 feet deep. Fill your headphones with music, reinforcing their beliefs, and replace your own thoughts with the lies on TV. It's a woke world, and we won't survive if we're asleep. So wake up before you rest in peace. Rise up, I can see your fire. You and me, we can burn what they built to the ground. Rise up, can't let them divide us. You and me, we can burn this world down.
Oh, look at that. Day after my birthday. Happy birthday, Mog. Let's go. 2 new albums. Hell yeah. All right. Look at that. All right, well, that'll be the reaction. I like the song. I probably won't put this one on like my playlists, in my car for my jamming, because I have so many of these types of songs from him. It's kind of just a continuation of stuff we've heard from him, which there's nothing wrong with that. Good message, good song. Not one of my favorites. All right, not one of my favorites. Like I said, great message, though, as always. I've just heard this a couple of times from him before already. Which, don't take that bad. That's not me, like, disparaging Tom or anything. Love the guy, gonna buy his albums and all that. It just is what it is. I've been waiting for more rap from him. That's what I want. I want more rap. It's just what I prefer. So that's where we're at. But anyway, I said I had a little something for those who stayed till the end of the video. So I was messing around. All right, here, let me get this. I have to get this off. I'm gonna have to change some things real quick. Hold on. Okay. We'll go. Hold on. We're gonna go this. Okay. Okay. That'll work. We'll turn that off for now. Okay. So, all right. So I was just messing around. All right. Screwing around with AI, right? And I made a couple of videos and I approached my wife with them. And my wife gets it 100%. And it'll make sense to you. And she thinks a lot of you guys, and it'll all make sense in a minute. And she really, though, doesn't think much of me, maybe? I don't know. That'll be for you to judge. All right, so I was screwing around with AI. I approached my wife, and I didn't tell her what I was doing, all right? And I just said, I'm messing with a couple of different styles of editing for my reaction videos, and I wanted her opinion, all right? So I showed her 2 videos. Yeah, I showed her like 2 or 3 videos or whatever. And they were increasingly like more obviously AI. And, you know, I'm going to show them to you and then I'll let you know her reaction. Well, let me show you the first one and then we'll go over her reaction. I'll show you another couple. It's just funny. I just got a kick out of this. Maybe this one will be the first. Let's see what this is about. I've been walking through the fire heat all in my veins. Oh, let's do that. Boom. Let's see what this is about. I've been walking through the fire heat all in my veins. Still I keep on moving, I won't break the chain.
That tone, she slid in crazy right there.
Okay, so if you notice this first video, all right, the very first part of it looks good. Besides the spelling on my hat, but like the background looks pretty much right. It's flipped. My mouth movements, all right, look good. The second part, like I can't make that facial expression. So I showed her that one, right? If you look at that first part with my mouth moves, you can't tell. I pursed my lips like that. That was like spot on me. Obviously that I don't think I can make that face. Right there. I don't think I can make that face. So she was like kind of taken back by that. She's like, you know, what the hell is that? And then I showed her another one. All right. I showed her this guy.
Let's see what this one's about.
Came up out the basement, roof missing out of sky mine, pockets full of patience, still I'm clocking in on prime time. Every word of payment, every verse
And
of
I can't make
guideline.
faces
He's
like
talking,
that.
stacking seasons, leaves turning money, growing vine
line
like
was
he in
tough.
his
My
bag.
my brows don't furrow like that, you know? So like she started seeing that and she was like, why are you being so fake? She's like, hold on, let me show you the last one. But yeah, she was at this point, she's like, well, you know, kind of like, well, why are you so fake? Like, what are you
Welcome
doing?
back to the channel.
Basically.
Riding with some soft Christian rock
And
today.
she's
This one's called
like-
Hearts of Light by Faith Line. Let me get
This one
these on.
actually
Here
is
we go.
decent. Like, I can
Ooh,
see
clean
this. I
guitar with
wouldn't
the
use
reverb
words
is
like
buttery.
this.
And the drums are just sitting back. Love that pocket.
Some of those I would, but buttery, whatever, you know? So anyway, so I showed her these videos and like the last one I showed her was me like dancing to a rap song or whatever. And that one's just way obviously AI. But she's watching these and she's like, why are you doing this? Why are you being so fake? She's like, people aren't going to like that. She's like, your audience is going to know. They're going to know because that's not you. And she was like pissed at me. She was getting heated with me because she thought I was like trying to like act a certain way for the camera. And she was pissed that I was even considering dropping those for you guys. Because she's like, they're going to know right away that that is not you. You are acting. That is bullshit. What are you even thinking? So she thinks a lot of you guys and very, very little of me that she actually thought I would put those up. But I thought it was funny that, you know, like right away, she's just like, nope, not doing it. But yeah, that's it. That's the story. I got a kick out of it. I thought maybe a few of you who made it to the end would have gotten a kick out of it too. But that'll do it. That'll be the reaction. Middle-aged white guy is out. Peace.